Jazz Cabbage. I'm your host, Blaise Gegeckas. I'm a new comedian within the past 6 months or so that's been pretty fun. I'm podcasting from the DropTent podcast network in the Nerds with Words studio. So I'm a new comedian, I guess you could say. I've been out there slinging jokes. It's been pretty interesting, I guess you could say, for the past couple of months I've been doing this. There's been a lot of cool people, a lot of weird people. It's always really funny to go to an open mic and see comedians that are fucking there's characters, man. I remember the first time I saw someone do stand-up in New Hope specifically was my buddy Zach's uncle, and he told a generic street joke, and that was kind of hard to watch. And I feel like that's kind of what I've been watching a lot of for the past couple months. And at times that includes myself, I guess, because it's kind of like a winding road trying to figure this shit out. Some of the things I'm going to be talking about in the future, I guess. I'm really into sports. Football is probably number one for me, anyway. Personally, I never really understood basketball. There's too much scoring, not enough defense. Because I like that D, man. So I'm a big Eagles fan, and as of this podcast this week that I'm recording this, Carson Wentz was signed to a 4-year extension. I think they said he was guaranteed $107 million. Adam, do you know anything about that? Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? Carson Wentz?
Well, I'm going to be biased, man.
Yeah, you're going up there with Eli, man. Who do you like better, Eli or Carson?
I'm a Giants fan.
If you had to redraft right now, would you draft Eli or Carson Wentz?
He won 2 Super Bowls.
Okay, that's fair. He has a good point,
Did
I
Carson
guess.
Wentz win a Super Bowl?
Technically. Technically, but he knows that he didn't. That's why he's got to get back out there.
That's right, fucking weak
That's
sauce.
that's why we had to trade Nick Foles, because there's no way that or let him go. But I guess the Giants, they got Saquon, whatever that means. You got to start running back. What's up, camera 2? So big Eagles fan. I don't think I've missed an Eagles game since probably like 1997, maybe. I've been to a bunch of games, and as much as I love the Eagles, I wish their fans would calm the fuck down, because they're a bunch of fucking animals down there. Actually, the first room full of dicks I saw was at Veterans Stadium, because they didn't have like individual urinals. They just had like a pig trough that everyone peed into. Man, that was a lot of... it's funny to walk into a bathroom and see some of the dicks touching the edge, and the other ones, they're like barely out of the hole. Actually, I have a question for you, Adam. Do you go through the gates or over the fence when you pee?
Through the gates or over the fence? Oh, you mean...
Yeah, like over the waistline or through the zipper?
Oh, it depends on the pants I'm wearing.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I always go over the fence.
Usually.
But I can't pee to completion unless my balls are out of my pants too, so that's kind of weird. So I gotta hang it all out.
To each his own.
Yeah, I gotta hang it out all over my pants. Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of into hockey when I was talking about sports, but I know that the St. Louis Blues are in the championship this year, but I got NHL 17. My friends forced me to get it, and the team I picked for my favorite team was the St. Louis Blues, oddly enough, because I like I know this is so, I can't even believe I'm going to say this, because I used to make fun of people who said this, but I'm a big fan of theirs based on just their logo, because I like that it kind of looks like a music note, and I think that's pretty cool. And for some reason, everyone always talks shit about the Flyers, even though like we're all in Philly. So I never really got into that, because they always talk about how they still always just want people who fight and stuff.
It is a music note. That's why it looks like that.
Yeah. Okay, well,
come on, man.
Spot on, man.
St. Louis blues music.
Oh, blues music. I thought maybe it was like a bird. I don't know why, dude. I don't know. And actually, if you think about hockey names, it's pretty fucked up that Florida, the Miami, and their name is Hurricanes.
It's Carolina.
Oh, damn, dude. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know nothing about hockey. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't really know anything about basketball either. But I guess baseball is pretty cool. Actually, the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, and every one of my friends except for me went to that parade. So if my dad's listening to this, fuck you, because I really wanted to go. But I got suspended from school like a month earlier, so they wouldn't let me go to the parade. And I remember I walked in there, and one of the teachers said, why are you here? you're just gonna watch a bunch of subs try to teach. And all I did all day was watch movies, and I could have been like smoking blunts on the street, 18 years old with my friends in Philly, but instead I was watching stupid videos. Actually, I took this class in high school called, I think it was U.S. History 1 maybe, and I convinced the teacher to have us watch Forrest Gump. Have you ever seen Forrest Gump there, Adam?
Sure have. Bunch of times.
Dude. Okay, is that in the top 5 movies of all time?
Negative.
I'm gonna say it's in the top 5, and since this is my show, it's in the top 5.
Fair.
Yeah, I love that movie, dude. Actually, one time Adam and I were hanging out, and I was doing my Forrest Gump impression. I thought it was spot on, and Adam looks at me and goes, "The fuck was that?" I was like, "Dude, I thought I nailed it, man." Because I love the part when he goes to Vietnam, and he's talking about one day it started raining, and I like when he goes, "There's big old fat rain," like that. I love that shit. Or when the rain seems to come up from underneath. I like that. That's a good one. Yeah. So here we're gonna talk about sports. We're gonna talk about some comedy shit. I don't know, just a bunch of different types of things. I tend to or try to pay attention to some political things, but I don't really like to get political since there's no ends to a means with people who oppose your position, because I feel like people don't like to listen. They only wait for someone to stop talking and then they start talking, which is really counterproductive. So I don't really like to engage in that. And actually for a while I was super into politics, and I was posting stuff on Facebook about like my opinions and stuff, but it started to ruin my life. So I stopped doing it because I would go out to like a bar in New Hope or something, and someone would come up to me and start asking me questions about what I wrote or my status or like how I felt politically, and then I would start to explain it to them, and they would start screaming at me. So, and one of the things was the Colin Kaepernick, and I just remember someone asked me like, "Oh, you view it this way?" And I was like, "Well," and then immediately just started screaming in my face. So after that, and that started happening more and more and more and more and more, and I didn't want to, lose friends over something like that, because you can disagree politically and still like hang out with your homies, So politics is kind of divisive, so we're gonna try to stay away from that. Even though I just talked about it for 3 fucking minutes, we're gonna try to stay away from that as much as we can, unless there's something like really big that I feel like I need to talk about. But there really isn't at this time. So I also I'm really into music. I like all sorts of music. I've seen probably over 100 concerts. I've seen everyone from Peter Frampton and Edgar Winter, if you know that guy. He did that song called Frankenstein from the 70s, which is that I think that's his like biggest song, and it's really actually cool. If you haven't heard it, you should check it out. That's Edgar Winter, Frankenstein. Now though, he looks like a skeleton with he looks like one of those guys from Pirates of the Caribbean when they're cursed. You know that movie, Adam? Pirates of the Caribbean? I forget which one it is.
I never really watched them.
Okay, well, I love that shit. And actually, to clear something up here, the ride existed before the movies, and I know people are going to say why they said that, because I've been to Disney World like 35 times, and I'm a huge Disney nerd, so I don't want people going there and thinking that they made the ride for the movie. That ride was there when the park opened in 1971, and don't you forget about it. But what was I just talking about before? I just talked about Disney World. Damn, I forget, but that's okay. So I'll just talk about Disney. I love Disney World. I think everyone should go. You should take your kids. I know it's expensive, or it can be, depending on what you do, but you don't need to stay inside the park. That's a common misconception, although it is cool that they keep the park open for an hour after. Actually, I just remembered at my house we have a Disney tree for Christmas, which is a tree filled with Disney ornaments, and we have a monorail that goes to the Contemporary Hotel, which is the hotel that the monorail actually physically goes through in Disney World. We have like a replica of that, and the monorail goes through it. And now I'm saying this, it sounds so nerdy, but we love that shit. And actually, I remember exactly what the monorail says. It says, on behalf of the cast of the Walt Disney World Resort, welcome to the Magic Kingdom. And no smoking, please. Please stay clear of the handrails, all that fun stuff. And it's actually really weird that I remember all that stuff. But if you go to Disney, man, they're going to say that stuff to you. I just want you to know ahead of time that they also say it in Spanish too, which is actually I always try every time I see Spanish and there's English with it. I always try to like match the words up to see if I can speak Spanish, and I can't. So, but I try, man. I try. I know Allah, hola, Allah, hola, hola, and actually I know a bunch of curse words in Spanish because I've worked with a lot of Spanish speaking people, and that's like, I guess maybe they hate their job or something because that's what they say the most. But which is understandable. You know, you gotta say shit every once in a while. You know, while you're at work, half of being at work is cursing at everyone there, I guess. Or that's how I feel it is, or should be. It should be like that, and that's where retail workers get a rough throw of it because they never get to say how they actually feel. Which is, do you ever work in retail, Adam? I haven't.
Yeah, when I was 20, before I was a cop first.
Yeah, did you ever just want to like tell people to go fuck themselves?
I did.
Yeah. Did you actually do it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, how relieving, right?
I didn't care because I was this was a temporary job.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I guess there's a difference between a job and a career, right?
Yeah.
So if that's your career and you're like slinging shirts out there, whatever you're doing.
Or at the Models.
Models, man, you're like,
Gotta go to Mo, son.
But it was in New York, right? So you were selling Giants shit.
I was slinging dick in New York. Yeah.
Slinging dick. Dude, that's awesome. Isn't that? It's actually weird that they have that sporting goods store, Dick's Sporting Goods. I feel like they should have thought of a better name for that, especially now with the internet and stuff.
How about BJ's?
BJ, yeah, or BJ's. What does BJ stand for in BJ's?
Blowjobs, please.
Well,
Come
yeah,
on.
so if you get a membership there, you go get paper towels at bulk cost, and then get your dick sucked. I think that's BJ's slogan. Come here and get emptied. Empty those nuts. That's what they say. I don't really watch a lot of TV. The only show I watch is Game of Thrones, or I guess I did watch. And I've been having a lot of conversations with people about Game of Thrones, especially lately now that season 8, I believe, ended. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it. Adam, I know that you didn't like it, but I just want to remind...
That's not true.
Oh, didn't you say that you didn't like it?
No, I said there were definitely like holes and there were definitely not as great parts, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It's just I feel like with a show like that, it's so hard to write an ending that would be sufficient to anyone. You know, because I was talking about at the bar last night with somebody about this, and they were saying how bad it sucked, and I was saying what made that show great before is that they could write these kind of loose ends into the next season, which made the tension build. But this season, it was about ending it all. So they're trying to just close loose ends and try to get them all. And I mean, they really kind of dropped the ball in some ways. Like Cersei's death was disappointing. I felt like that was unjust for a character I thought was the main villain. Is this coming off on me? No. I thought she was the main villain of the whole show. For her to just die under a bunch of stupid little bricks was ridiculous. But I don't. God bless you. I don't think that I could. Sorry. Enough. Dude,
can I tell you something real quick about you doing that? You know Otto and George? You ever hear Otto and George?
No.
Otto and George. He was comic. He came up with like Norton and those guys.
Oh, okay.
He's dead, unfortunately. But
Was that the puppet guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually from Staten Island, so shout out. Repping my home.
Where they play with puppets, guy.
Yeah, we did. Sure. He used to do this thing, and it would make everyone fucking laugh, like all the other comics laugh. If someone sneezed, he would just go, "Shut up!" And then if they sneezed again, he'd go, "You're ruining everything."
Damn, dude.
And it's so funny. It's so fucking funny.
Dude, I mean, I have allergies, so especially earlier in the spring times. So, dude, every time I sneeze like 5 times in a row, someone will say, "God bless you" for the first 2 times. Then the 5th time is... They do exactly what I just did, where they say that's enough of that, as if you can control it, which is the funniest part of that, because it's dude, I like sneezing though, honestly. I can make myself sneeze if I touch the inside of my nose with like a pen or something for like 5 seconds. I'll sneeze, which is talent. That's a talent. I'm gonna be on X Factor with that. I know that's a weird thing.
X Factor. It was 2004.
Yeah, dude, that show's still on, isn't it? I don't know. The one with Simon Cowell, that guy. I always wanted that guy to judge me for some reason. I just feel like or Randy Jackson, dude, because even though you're getting like actually, I have Tinder, and on my Tinder profile it says if it makes you feel any better, when I swipe left, just know that I'll be saying it's a no for me, dog, in a Randy Jackson voice. I think that's a pretty good line. What do you think, do you think girls like that?
To like being rejected?
Well, dude, actually, I was just thinking about there's like some real like pigs on there, man. Some gross chicks, and I know. I mean, not you guys. It's them, not you.
Well, look who's fucking talking though. Look at your side profile right now, kiddo.
Yeah. True. Fair. But I always feel like if I accidentally swipe right on them, I feel like, how do we not match? Like, this girl's so ugly. And then I get like, for a second, I'm like, oh no, I got to unmatch her. And she's going to try to talk to me and I don't want to talk to her. But then if she doesn't match with me, I get like offended because it's like, even you don't want to match with me. So sometimes you just got to look in the mirror, man, for like a long period of time. And actually, yeah, my side profile is probably disgusting, dude. But you never look at your side profile because it's such a weird thing to do. And how would you even do that? Like, accurately, because I feel like in your mind, you look in your side profile. Like,
You'll find out when you watch this back.
Dude, I don't want to watch this back now that you said that, man. Damn. But,
hey, why do you think I lost weight?
Hey, the camera adds 40 pounds. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Specifically to your side. I bet I look up in that camera. This camera, probably not.
Well, I'm on this camera right now.
I look good from far away, guys. So, and the closer you get, the more gross it gets. So, that's cool, though. I'm down with that, man. And now that it's summertime, I'll be surfing all the time and stuff. So hopefully, but dude, I did eat a calzone 2 days in a row. So maybe it's gonna be this. Although, as long as it doesn't get past. Because actually, dude, for a while I weighed like 260 pounds, and now I'm at like 215. So that's not that bad. That's a lot better than it used to be, dude. Because I remember I went to Disney World with an ex-girlfriend of mine and my family and stuff, and I looked at the picture recently on the wall, and I was like, dude. Damn, dude, that girl let you fuck her, man. That's crazy. Because it was disgusting for me to see. So I can only imagine what it would look like for her. Like, dude, just like, wow, that's gross. There's a lot of cool things on that wall there. Yeah. So I was talking about Game of Thrones. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I liked episode 3, which seems to be an episode that most people had a problem with, which was the dead episode where they finally fight the dead, and everyone felt like it was anticlimactic. But it was like 78 minutes long or whatever, so I felt like that was a sufficient amount of time and stuff. I mean, people were pissed about that coffee cup, and, it's funny that they say it's not historically accurate with the coffee cup in it, but there's dragons in it. So I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. And it's just a coffee cup. Although what's funny is that they said it was a Starbucks coffee cup, and it actually was not a Starbucks coffee cup. It was, I think I heard Sophie Turner, or whatever, I think that's her name, the girl who plays Sansa, talking about it on some late night show. And she said that it's just the coffee cup that everyone gets for whatever drink they're drinking. So whiskey, coffee, it doesn't matter. It's going to be in that cup. I hope that, I guess I could see Tyrion being fucking shit-faced on the whole thing. I wonder how many drinks it takes that guy to get absolutely blasted. Because he's of lesser height than usual. I don't know how to say that without it being offensive. And that was probably offensive. Just right there saying that. So, yeah. So I'm into sports. I like Game of Thrones. I'm a big Star Wars guy. I liked all the Star Wars, I think, except for Phantom Menace. I thought was whack. That's because Anakin in that movie whined like a little bitch the whole time, and he should have just pod raced and fixed the robots for that fat flying green lizard thing or whatever it was. You know the guy I'm talking about? Watto. Yeah, he's like, oh. I think that's how he talked.
Jedi mind tricks don't work on me.
Yeah, damn, that was actually
the only good impression I could do.
Wow, dude.
The only good impression I could do.
Wow, and ironically enough, that's the one I needed from you. Wow,
yeah.
Dude, that was
the
perfect.
One I could do. If someone's like, who could do a good Watto? Adam could do a good Watto.
Watto.
I'll gamble for it.
That is actually really good. It's like bringing me back to how much I hated that movie.
Oh, your Jedi mind tricks don't work on me.
And Darth Maul.
You're a slave. I can't do Darth Maul. Darth Maul just sounds like a fucking...
Well, does he talk ever?
Yes.
I feel like he should just screech.
No.
Like that.
You fool.
like that, just like the whole movie. Just actually, I don't remember him talking, to be honest, but I thought that he was one of the coolest Sith guys, and he died right away, which was disappointing.
Wrong.
He did Qui-Gon Jinn, doesn't he? Like no,
He doesn't die.
He doesn't die?
Negative.
I thought he died in that movie.
He gets cut in half.
Oh, okay. Now no, dude, don't start this because my brother has this whole.
It's not a theory. It's canon. It's true. He gets
dude.
cut in half and he gets robot legs and he lives on. He doesn't die.
Oh, because my brother keeps telling me about that he's still alive.
No, he is. It's not. I'm not making that up. You know I'm a big Star Wars. You know I have Boba Fett tattooed on me.
Oh, okay. Boba Fett. Who do you like better, Django or Boba?
You know the answer.
It's Django. I agree.
Negative.
Django is the guy. That's what we
lie.
decided here at
That's a
Jazz
lie.
Cabbages. Jazz Cabbage.
Hey, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and your social media and stuff like that? You
Okay.
haven't said that yet.
Yeah. Well, I feel like because I got to change my shit because it's so long. But I really only have Instagram and Facebook, and both of them are at Blaise Robert Gegeckas, which is
Yeah, it's terribly changes.
Yeah, I know.
You should just make it Blaise G
I know that's what. I should.
or Blaise Comedy.
Yeah, like my whole life's funny, so you should watch it on Instagram. That's right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's way too long. And actually, I have an uncle and cousin Blaise. That's why I have to have my middle name in there because I keep getting like tax things that are my uncles, and they're like, "You owe us money," and I'm like, "I don't think I owe you guys money," but I don't. He does, but I keep getting it, so I gotta like change my thing here. But yeah, so anyway, all right, yeah. I was talking about Star Wars. So there's a new Star Wars coming out. I'm pretty stoked about it. I like the last three, the last two new ones with Rey. I think that girl is what's her name? Daisy Ridley. She's really hot. And I like. I really like. What the hell is his name? The bad guy. I forget his name now. The new Sith guy.
What's Kylo Ren?
Kylo
and he's
Ren.
not a Sith.
Okay, what is he? He's on the door. He's 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
He's technically a Knight of Ren, but he's not a Sith.
Okay, he's not a Sith. Okay, what? Siths can shoot lasers or lightning out of their fingers? Is that
No,
what makes
Sith
you
is
Sith?
everyone's not a Jedi Knight just because you're fucking have the Force, right?
Oh. I mean, yeah, okay, but they're Padawans. So what's like the younger version of bad guys?
It's just a Sith apprentice. That's it.
I mean, he's pretty strong though for not being a Sith.
Yeah, but he won't get past as a Sith because he's a crybaby.
He won't get past as a Sith. I like how you phrase that. That's
We
awesome.
make everything about comedy around here, boys.
Yeah. He hasn't been passed yet by the Dark Lord, so this guy, he's still an open
He's still
Sither.
working on his tight 10 lightsaber routine.
Yeah,
Yes, he's featuring for Darth Vader next week at Helium.
Yeah, dude, that would be so funny if they made him do that. Dude. Yeah, that's great. You get to audition to be a Sith, man. That's awesome. That'd be cool. It'd be really cool, though.
I heard Darth Plagueis is going to open for him.
Darth Plagueis, yeah. Yeah, dude, what? That'd be fun, man. I would go to a show like that and people flipping around lightsabers and stuff.
They have those.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, not with real lightsabers because they
No
don't
shit.
exist. But dude, can you imagine that? Like, who put that banana peel there? Whoop! And there goes half the crowd, man. That'd be crazy. Actually, though, they're opening a new part of Disney World called Galaxy's Edge. I don't know if you heard about this, but it's the biggest expansion in Hollywood Studios, formerly known as MGM Studios, in their history, and actually all of Disney World's history. It's going to be the biggest expansion. Actually, I don't know if it's open yet. I know it opens soon, but it's going to be pretty sweet. So now when you go to Disney World and Hollywood Studios, they have stormtroopers walking around and stuff with which is kind of really cool, man. I wish that they had more of that when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there was just mice and stuff. And isn't it weird that I was thinking about this, that Pluto is Goofy's dog, but Goofy's also a dog. So I don't know what kind of shit Disney was smoking, but that's crazy to have. Pluto is a slave, basically, because they're both dogs. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, I heard that same hack premise in fucking 10 years ago.
Well, I'm not doing stand-up. I was just thinking about it. Maybe I saw it on a meme or something that made me think about it. But it's actually true. It's a good thought. I mean, I don't know. And it's crazy that Mickey never wears a shirt.
How come Donald Duck only wears pants when he's swimming?
Oh, true. Because he doesn't want people. His balls grow in water, so that's why Disney. It's on his plaque or whatever, in his frozen state underneath the castle in Magic Kingdom, which actually I think that was Yeah, there was like a rumor or something like that. Something like that where Disney's in Disney World. I know that he stayed in Main Street, USA, in Hollywood Studios. He rented this apartment, or I rented, it's his fucking shit, but he stayed in this apartment above one of the stores and just like watch people enjoy Disney World, which is actually kind of creepy if you really think about it. But I guess back then pictures didn't circulate as fast, so he could probably walk around, people wouldn't know that he's him, which would be pretty cool, because I feel like now if you have any type of fame at all, people know you just from the internet, which kind of sucks. That's kind of why I hate the internet, because I always think the best type of fame would be like those like emo screamo bands that they go to the venue, they play their thing, and everyone there loves them. But then when they go outside and they go down the street to the pizza shop, no one knows who they are. I think that would be the perfect level of fame. I don't know. What about you? What do you think, Adam? That's a perfect level. Right?
Perfect level of fame?
Yeah, because you're still getting ticket sales, but then people won't bother you when you're out just trying to do like regular life.
I mean, I don't know. I think of guys like Big J, who's like, he's famous, but I feel like he's more famous to comics and comic nerds.
Oh, that's true. But the thing with him is that now that he's been on a few of those podcasts, everyone knows what he looks like now. Yeah.
Sure, I just feel like still.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
Okay, like for instance, like, you know, we know Shane Gillis, who fucking just opened for Jay, you know,
Shout
like
out to
in
Shane
Tampa.
Gillis.
Like we know Matt McCusker's been on Nerds with Words with me. Like, you know, I mean,
shout out to Matt McCusker.
That's who fucking Shane and Matt's secret podcast. Like, you know, they know Jay. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So we are like Neil and I or whatever, literally one person removed from fucking like, you know,
some fame. Yeah, yeah, which is, you know, you're
so
so close, you can taste it. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, I always felt like that would be the amount of fame, dude, because I just feel like if I went to like the movies with my nephew or something, that I wouldn't want people like fucking coming up to me and stuff all the time. I feel like that would be overbearing. And then, you know, like you're out with, you know, a little kid or something going to see Minions 4 or 5 or whatever, just one of those movies. And they say like, oh my God, like, it's like, dude, but like, you know, I'm out with my nephew. Can you like back the fuck up? But then they'll say that you're an asshole to everybody, even though that's an isolated incident. So I think that's why I felt like having people know who you are and they like what you do specifically and come see what you do specifically. And then, you know, although I you know what, I bet there's like, it's only a small group of people that would behave that way. And I think on the most part, people would be cool. Although I was listening to the Jonas Brothers talk about because they were on Hot Ones, and they were talking about that they were in a hotel and the whole hotel was surrounded and they couldn't even leave. Like, how crazy is that, man? That's way too much. That's like Michael Jackson type fame, dude. And that would just be insanity. So yeah, yeah, Star Wars, cool. I like Star Wars. Game of Thrones, I like that. Do you ever, you know what? Sometimes I watch, or one time I guess, I watched the whole NCAA lacrosse tournament while chewing tobacco and spitting it into a bottle. But that was the only time I did it, because the first time that I tried chewing tobacco, I chewed it, swallowed it, and then immediately threw up for like 20 minutes. And it was like one of those things, one of those cliche things that you see like in movies where I'm like, I'm done my piece. My friends are like, what do you mean? They're like, you're not supposed to swallow that. And then I started throwing up. Dude, that's so... oh my God, dude. This one night, we were I don't know, 19 or so, and we were all at a buddy's house. And I ruined my friend's night, dude. He was so drunk, I started shaking him because I was an asshole. And then he started throwing up off the bench, and the cops came, and he got in trouble. And they're trying to, I mean, I don't know if this is real or not. He might be lying about this, but he said that the cops came up behind him while he was throwing up in the bathroom, and they were asking him questions, and he told them to go fuck themselves. But I don't believe him at all. Although at the same time, this dude was so drunk that he probably doesn't remember. But I left. I left all my friends there. They all got in trouble. Oh my God, dude. Well, at least, you know, I knew when to leave at the right time. And that's the point, is you got to know when to leave when it's time to leave. Because if you stay too long, bad things happen. Like, there was a party I went to once, and it was in this neighborhood where the houses were way too close together for a party of this size. And I knew that I was going to get busted. So I left. And guess what? All those kids got in trouble. But I didn't, because I knew when to leave. And that's the point of life, knowing when to leave. Yeah, so I've had allergies lately. It's been pretty rough. And it's weird that for some reason, you can cut yourself in the heels, but pollen really fucks your shit up. Because every year I get like bronchitis from the increased mucus like in my nose and my lungs and stuff. So that's actually really annoying. I was trying to smoke the Juul and instead of cigs, but then because that's water vapor, I kept like getting caught in my lungs and making it worse. And then I lost the Juul, and they're like $35. And I found the Juul. It's actually weird to talk like I've been losing and finding my Juul. That's such a weird thing because now I feel like Indiana Jones, which is I always like that kid, Mr. Jones. That kid, I love that kid, man. He's my favorite one.
Short round.
Short. Is that his name? Short round. Dude, how do you know all the names of everything? This is crazy.
Nerd, bro. Look at what the studio you're in.
Yeah, Nerds with Words. Yeah, we're in the Nerds with Words studio. Yeah, I feel like it's like so specific that I mean, I guess it's not because he's like a main character, but for me, because I saw that movie came out in like '88, right? Like the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Is that the first one?
Lost Ark came out in like 80, not 88.
Yeah,
it was like 84 or something.
Oh, oh wow. Harrison
Raiders?
was whipping shit.
I think it might have been 84. Hold on.
Wow.
There, I know.
Okay, yeah. So I saw that, dude. Like for the first time, I was probably like 3 years old.
Yeah, oh, 81.
Oh, okay. Me and my dad would always say, that one dude would say, on the way to Delhi, we stop at Diddy Gump. Remember that? That one Indian dude?
Yeah.
Me and my dad would always say that to each other. We didn't do the accents, though, because we're not racist. So we did the way I just did it. But yeah, then one of the reasons I remember that movie so specifically is because, didn't they like chop a monkey's head off and start eating its brain?
It was served cold. Like it was frozen monkey brain.
It was frozen, which makes it better.
Yeah,
so,
but that's not a real thing. Like people claim that was real, but it's not real.
It's definitely not real.
No, not from the movie. I mean, people were like,
like people don't do that.
Like but people were like, oh, that happens. Real, that's a real thing that they do.
But they don't.
No.
Yeah.
No. You can't. I mean, I don't get all nerdy and sciencey about it, but
wouldn't it give you some sort of disease?
Yeah, primates can't eat other primates' brains because of it gives you. Fuck, I can't think of the name of it.
Primates, we're human beings. What are you talking about? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I remember that. Dude, I want to go back and watch that, dude, because that's probably like so fake.
Prion.
It's filled with like chow mein, probably, and we're like, that's monkey brain, dude, but it's not. It's just chow mein.
It was sorbet, I think.
It was what?
I think it was like sorbet.
Sorbet?
Or something like ice. It was something like that in the movie. It was like something like stupid.
Yeah, it's how they make them smoke fake weed, man. They're not gonna have them eat real monkey brain.
Oh, you're not allowed to smoke real weed. Even
how would they know if you smoked real weed?
They wouldn't. Oh, I mean, I think they have people on set who actually check for shit like that.
Oh my god! So they got a bunch of narcs, dude.
Pretty much.
Damn.
I believe I could be wrong on this, but I'm not googling it. This is my job. So,
yeah. Fair enough.
I believe on movie sets, even in a state like California, that's legal, weed's legal. I still think you're not allowed to smoke.
Dude, that's whack, man. Although I did hear a story about that movie Grandma's Boy, where that Dante,
I'm sure
he smoked real weed.
Dude, listen,
Damn.
I'm sure it happens. I'm just saying, technically, you're not allowed to.
Yeah, technically, of course, yeah. Well, I mean, it would, dude. But then again, dude, you would have to do take after take after take after take, and then what? You're just gonna be like, so, dude. Because I don't know about you, man, but if I get that stoned, I will forget what year it is. Like, I will go up to the heavens, and I think, I used to get like real panicky when I smoked weed, and I think it had a lot to do with what my friends used to do to me when I was younger. We would like smoke a blunt, and they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know you like to get wet." I'd be like, "Wait, what do you mean?" They're like, "Oh yeah, that's PCP on there. See how it like sparkles, but because you're high, you think you see sparkling."
That's in fucking Training Day.
That's in Training Day.
Yeah, when he tricks Ethan Hawke into smoking PCP, he's like, just take this pull. He thinks he's just giving him weed.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, oh, I didn't know you like to get wet.
Oh,
and he's like,
okay.
Huh? And
yeah.
He's like, angel dust, PCP.
So you're telling me my friends did the Training Day shit to me?
They didn't tell you.
Yeah, well, they didn't tell me they were joking.
They take the 2 guns to do this.
Yeah. And they would say King Kong ain't got nothing on me, and
ain't got shit.
Oh, well, they had to change one word for
King
trademark.
Kong ain't got shit on me. It's a great movie.
Yeah, that is. It's really good. But yeah, so they used to do shit like that and then not tell me that they were joking. And this other time they just came out with those Rhodos eye drops, which if you remember, they burn when you put them in. But I never used them, so I didn't know that. and they gave them to me, and I put them in, and I said, "Ow, that like what? It hurts, man. Why does it hurt like this?" And one of my friends was like, "Yo, you didn't give him the one with like the yellow cap." And then I looked down, it was the one with the yellow cap, and I was like, "What does that mean?" And they're like, "Dude, oh man, sorry, that was the one with acid in it." And then I thought I was gonna trip balls, and started to get super anxious, and that's probably why I started having panic attacks, because they would do shit like that to me all the time, dude. Or they, dude, yeah. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, my friends are a bunch of fucking bullies, man. That's crazy. That's really mean. Because later on in life, I fucking got super stoned and had a panic attack and had to go to the hospital. And how embarrassing is that? Even my grandma was laughing. She was like, "Yeah, it's just a panic attack." And I was like, "Grandma, I'm fucking dying, man." Because when you're panicking, it feels really real. There's no not real to you. Everything that you're feeling is super real. Super, super real. Yeah. Last weekend I went fishing. I caught... Well, it was by accident. I actually don't even like fishing, but I went anyway because one of my friends is super into it, and he just happened to have 3 rods. I guess he's that kind of guy. So myself and 2 other friends went fishing. I caught a little fish this big 5 minutes in, and then I want to go fishing where you go to like a pier and you just cast it out and then just let it be there. And I don't want to have to, because he was saying you need to like shake it, pull, do that a bunch so that way the fish is attracted to the lure. Or whatever the fuck, because we didn't use worms. We just used things that look like fish but aren't fish. I don't know what those are called, lures, but like I don't know the actual word for fake fish lures. But yeah, and then I caught a fish that was like this big, but I didn't really catch it. And everyone keeps saying that I caught it. Basically, my friend got on the line, then gave me the pole, and I reeled it in, and then he went down to grab the line and pull it out, and the line snapped, and he got away. But it was like a 30-foot no, I don't know, it was probably like a foot long, dude, and they're hyping it up because I don't really remember. I only saw like the tail fin or whatever in the river. We were on the wing dam in the river. So, and I guess even if you pull fish out of the river, you don't want to eat it because there's like, the river's kind of gross. I don't know if you ever accidentally drank a mouthful of river water, but it's actually pretty fucking nasty, dude. It does not taste good. At least with the ocean, the water tastes good because it's whale sperm, which actually is pretty good. Tastes good. And it's full of nutrients, whale sperm. So it's actually good for you to drink that water. Or at least that's what everyone says at the beach. They're probably lying. I got jellyfish stings, but I never peed on them. So I don't know if they're lying or not, because that's also another thing that they say. That if you get stung by jellyfish and you pee on it, it neutralizes the sting. But I don't know, because the only jellyfish that sting are the ones with the red lines in it. And I've only seen those a few times. Although once when I was a little kid, they got a jellyfish. It felt like it was. Well, I was also, I don't know, 6 years old, but it felt like the jellyfish was 10 feet by 10 feet, which it definitely wasn't. It was probably like 3 by 3, 1 by 1. I don't know. It felt huge. It was so big that 2 dudes came out, or I guess they were lifeguards, so I just call them dudes. 2 dudes came out with a surfboard, and they put the jellyfish on the surfboard and then buried it on the beach because that's how you kill them. But I remember that's how big it was that they had to use a whole surfboard to get and they pulled everyone out of the water, so it must have been dangerous in some sort of way. But they also pull people out of the water for like a bluefish school, but those bluefish take your toes off if you let them in. Sometimes behind bluefish there's sharks and other apex predators, I guess, that are in the Jersey water, like a lot of Pauly D's. Yo, you know, one time I was in Seaside Heights, and I was walking on the boardwalk, and I saw that Ronnie guy from Jersey Shore. Have you ever seen any of those people in real life, Adam?
I actually have 2 individual stories of personal encounters, and one of them is pretty crazy.
Was one of them with Ronnie or no?
No,
Jack dude?
That was with what's your face? Chick for Angelina. Staten Island, because that's cop.
Right. Yeah.
On Staten Island.
Oh, okay. It was one of those stories.
Yeah.
Dude, dude, it's just, I hate those people, man. It's just like how, but anyway, I walked by, I forget, I think it was Snooki and Ronnie. Dude, Ronnie is like 3 feet tall. That dude, seriously. I'm only 5'8" and 3/4, and yes, 3/4 matter. And he had to be like 5'3", this guy. He was so little. And then, because his girlfriend was always taller than him in the show, that girl, Sam, The guy Vinny and that girl Sam are like the only ones that I could even like stand
Oh,
with.
I also used to see Vinny at the gym, like all the time.
He seems like a cool, normal.
He was by himself.
Yeah, he seems like a normal guy.
No one bothered him either.
Yeah, well, yeah. But he doesn't seem like the type that would want you to. He seems like he just wants to live his life. But that other dude, the situation, man. Damn. My parents said they met that dude in a local bar in Seaside, and they said that dude was an asshole. But I wasn't there, and like I said, he could have been having a bad day or whatever. But I could definitely see that guy being a jerk, dude.
He's in jail, so.
He's in jail?
Tax fraud.
Oh, man, you got to pay those taxes, man. What a predicament. The predicaments of the situation. That sucks, dude. Man.
Sucks, bro.
Yeah, it does, dude. I mean, I want to see him come out of jail because he obviously can't have fake Tanner in jail. So I want to see what he looks like when he comes out. Everyone's calling him Casper or whatever. And he's got although, dude, he's probably ripped being in jail because what else do you do in jail besides
Taking
like,
dick?
Work out and fuck dudes? Yeah, you're empty.
Both of those are a workout.
Yeah, exactly. You're emptying nuts, dude. Some of those dudes probably have huge dicks. So his forearms are probably jacked by all the hand jobs he's given at this point. I think. I mean, I don't know what goes on in prison because I've never been to prison. So who knows, dude? Who knows what that's like? All right. Anyway, we're gonna edit this, right?
Edit what? It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. So how long have I been doing this for?
41 minutes.
Yeah, it feels like a long time. Okay, 41 minutes. I don't know what else to talk about, dude. Because I didn't really.
You didn't talk about comedy? Want to talk about comedy?
I mean, I talked about comedy a little bit. I mean, I don't know, I'll talk about yeah, okay. Okay. Let's talk about comedy. I'll tell the story or how I feel like it, well, it's been rough. So we'll just say the worst bomb that I've had.
That's a good story.
Yeah. So, I was probably 3 months in or so, I think. 2 months, maybe 2 months. And we went down to the spot in Philly. Shout out to the Cave. It's a cool spot. I actually really like it. But it was rough, man. Maybe I wasn't ready, or I was too nervous, or I was too comfortable with just doing comedy at J&P's because at that time that was like the only place that I'd really gone up. And there was actually a lot of people there, so it was kind of intimidating. Like a lot of people, and they were mostly comics this night for some reason. I think maybe it was during Temple Spring Break or something. But it was. Yeah, I remember feeling like already intimidated by it. And whenever I'm about to go up, I always get super nervous. So when people are talking to me and shit, I'm like not even listening to them because I'm thinking about like don't do this, don't do that. So anyway, the guy who introduced me, I don't know if I've seen that guy again or not, but it kind of threw me off because he said coming to the stage. He reminds me of fajita grease. When I heard
David Feinberg.
Yeah. Thanks, David. You said David?
David Feinberg.
Thanks, David Feinberg. That was awesome. Typically, I mean, now I guess it wouldn't be that bad, but then I didn't. Oh, man, I didn't. I already felt like I was in a hole with because, dude, like, they're looking at me like this fucking greasy guy, and I'm like, I don't know. Oh, man. And that was just telling embarrassing stories instead of jokes, so that was a bad idea. So it was 5 minutes of me rambling, kind of like I am now, except it was completely quiet. The whole crowd was completely quiet and then I couldn't look at them, dude. I had to like look down. I was so ashamed.
It was I was there.
Yeah, Adam was there, by the way. I was gonna tell the part that you were there, but go ahead.
It was
rough.
It was rough. It was for sure rough. It was for sure rough. It's bad when it's dead silent.
Yeah, like they're not even gasping, right? It's not like I was saying crazy shit where they're like, and I don't want to laugh at that. They were just like, I don't. This guy's not doing anything. He's just talking, I guess, dude. But I did get off, and I made eye contact with Adam. It was like we were both like, yikes.
I almost didn't want to look in your face.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's one of those.
Dude, I couldn't even look in the mirror for
By the way,
week,
I
man.
had a hard dick at a show in Doylestown last week, so who am I to say?
Yeah.
But that was pretty bad. It's bad when no one's paying
responsive
attention
at all. Yeah,
because this is my opinion. This is a lot of people's. I don't know. Whatever. This is my personal opinion. My personal opinion is I'd rather people be like "fuck you" or "this sucks" because at least they're paying attention.
Well,
than people just going like staring at you silently.
Yeah, dude, for 5 minutes straight, man. And then it was like I don't know. Then it feels weird to be around like all the other comics because then it's like
No,
and I didn't really know them, so now they're probably just thinking like this dude fucking sucks.
Although you had a really good set.
Yeah,
You're
no,
the best
I
I've
came.
ever seen you do the other day.
Yeah. Well, I also did way better the second time I went to the cave, so I was happy about that. Way better, as in people didn't fucking not say anything. But yeah, no. The other night was fun. That was really fun. There was that I always think it feels weird to do stand up where there's like no physical stage. I always feel like that makes me kind of feel weird.
It for sure sucks.
Yeah, because like I'm above you when I'm talking. You know what I mean?
So no. But you are right.
Yeah,
we should be elevated.
Yeah. I think it makes people pay attention more if you're like kind of above them a little bit. It gives them an easier access to.
Yeah, I could pull stuff up on the computer now if you want.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, because the fights are over.
Oh,
I mean, not
who
the
won?
main. Well, no, the main card's on right now.
Oh, okay.
That was
You're not
prelims
gonna, you're not gonna watch it?
I mean, what am I gonna fucking pay for it right now and then drive
Shut
home?
up.
Neil left.
Oh, where did Neil go?
To hang out with the lady.
Oh, right. Is that his new girlfriend?
No, just not talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't
What the
worry
fuck
about
am I doing?
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't
We'll
worry
cut that out. That's fine. Yeah, that's cool, man. But
So,
yeah.
you see that?
Oh yeah, I see you.
No, I mean, do you see? Like, is that?
Oh yeah. I think
is that good view for you? Like,
yeah.
can you see it clearly?
This light is the only problem with this is on like.
We can move that.
Yeah, I'm like staring into the fucking light. But yeah, no, it's awesome. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that is. Way better. Well, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really have anything for you to pull up.
No, I'm just if we wanna, I could.
Oh, okay. So
I can't.
all that other stuff are where we need to Google. But
I googled it on my phone, son.
oh, okay. Google on the telly. Yeah. So anyway, that bomb was pretty fucking. So if I ever go on, if somehow this happens and I end up on like Jimmy Fallon, you know how they do that? The worst I ever bombed. It's gonna be that fucking story. I can tell you that. That's how uncomfortable that was. But sometimes it's uncomfortable just because. I always feel like if there's older people in the crowd, I feel that always kind of freaks me out a little bit when there's like someone who's over 55. I feel like kind of freaks me out that they're there. Because,
Yeah, it can be rough.
Yeah, just because it's like, but I mean, at the same time, they're there to see some comedy. So hopefully they understand, or you hope that they understand that they might hear some wild shit, because. I don't know, just some because like the other night, what was that place called, by the way, that we went to the first place? Everyone keeps asking me, I keep forgetting. Speakeasy, right? Speakeasy. Yeah, there was.
Shout out to Steve Bickle.
Yeah, Steve Bickle, thanks for having us. Cool, Speakeasy's good. It's a good time. Yeah, there was an older woman there, and she was like really into it, which I was cool. It actually surprised me, and that was pretty cool. Although. Outside of that place, this drunk old dude is talking my goddamn ear off. I hate when people do that, man. Like, and people who do that, that there's gonna be a left turn somewhere in that story. So with this guy, he was like talking about he had a good day and he came here for some beers and stuff. Then he was like, "I've had 2 aneurysms. Look at this scar." And I was like, "Yo, man." And then he's like, "My mom died last week." And I'm like, "Dude, now this is so not where I thought this conversation was gonna go." Because what do you say to somebody like that? Because legitimately, I don't give a fuck. But it's rude for me to say that. But also, this guy's gotta know that like I'm just some dude. Why would I care? So I hate when people do that because I've had people do that to me at work. This one dude came in one time, and I was fixing these tiles in the back of a bathroom. On the back wall, and this guy came in. I guess he was doing maybe the bathroom shelves, or maybe the mirror or something, whatever he was doing. But he was like, "Yeah, it's been a crazy month. My dog and my dad died in the same room." What am I gonna do with that, dude? What am I gonna do with that? I mean, I legitimately want to tell that dude to go fuck himself for making my day also bad, because now I feel bad for this dude, and I don't even know this guy. And actually, my sister does that shit a lot. She always tells people like way more than they need to know. So when people do that to me, it drives me up a fucking wall. Or dude, the other day I was at a Wawa, and this old lady, she cut line, dude. Like it was like a weird setup. So like we're all on a line, but there's kind of like a break in the line because that's like where the bananas are. That's where the bananas are. So we like.
What, you got the puberty?
Yeah. Let me tell you. Yeah.
He's only the kid from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Oh man, no
Yeah.
one's gonna believe this.
Yeah, dude, my bad. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes that happens, I guess. But so anyway, the line was broken up by the banana stack of bananas or whatever. And I went to step forward, and this old lady, man, she just stepped right in front of me. And I want to know, would it have been appropriate to push her down? Would that have been cool with everyone?
I know you're kidding, but
dude, she cut line.
It's definitely
man.
appropriate to be like, "Hey, I'm in front of you.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit about age. Fuck off."
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just laughing. I was laughing, dude, because she was also like shaking real bad, and she had like a cane. So I was like, all right, well, obviously,
tell her to shake her ass to the back of the fucking line.
Yeah, dude. No, I don't know. I just didn't say anything.
Because you're a fucking sheep.
Yeah, sheeple. I'm a sheeple.
Don't worry. When Evan's your producer, he won't trash you. This is just
no,
it's
me. Cool. That's fine. Yeah, it's like this is a fucking roast right now. That's cool.
Hey, don't forget, I'm your comedy superior. I get to do this to you. I'm just helping you out.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm helping you out because this is my system, and I had to learn how to run it.
Yeah. Oh my god. So anyway, yeah, she cut in front of me, and I was debating on like pushing her over or something, but so I just let her buy her. Actually, you know what's fucked up about that is I was like, oh man, this like old lady just gonna get like her gallon of milk, dude. She bought like 4 cartons of cigarettes. Dude, holy shit, man. I actually, it's funny when I see old people smoke like that, because there used to be this old woman who lived across the street from my family at the beach. And she had a oxygen tank mask thing. So I guess she had CBD or one of those, whatever. I didn't know what it was as a kid, but she used to hang her head out of the front like screen door, but she used to open the door and like hang out of it and yell at us for like playing ball in the street and shit.
Oh, a cunt.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, dude. And she would chain smoke cigarettes with the oxygen thing in her fucking face, dude. It was crazy. But yeah, dude, she was, and my grandma would always be like, oh, it's because she's from New York, like New York City, and she's like old school New York City, so like you would take your kids to the park, and then when you came home they were like inside, or that's what my grandma said. But yeah, no, this woman was fun, dude. It was like what's that movie, the baseball, Sandlot. Like when the ball went into her yard, dude, we would like rock, paper, scissors, so you had to go get it, man, because it would like hit the door and you'd run over to get it. She'd open the door, like 5 cigarettes in her fucking mouth. What are you doing? Although overall, man, she was, you know what? She was mean. I'm just going to say that. She was actually, I was going to say something nice, but there's nothing nice to say about that woman. She was super mean. But she was like a legend, dude, because she used to do the same shit to my uncle, who's now like 63. They used to call her the general of the block, because she like didn't fuck around. But yeah, and then these other people bought that house, and they're really cool, and they're fun to hang out with during the block party in August. They're always cool, man. I love Gary. Shout out to him. He's a cool ass dude. And thank God that woman is gone, because and by the way, it's not a street where like anyone can drive down, so there's not a lot of car traffic, because the end of the block there's like a fence there to keep people from driving through, like to keep the through traffic like completely non-existent. So when you're playing ball in the street, it's not like you're playing like in the street, you know. It's just there's a street there and there's no pavement. It's like sand, you know. So it was actually kind of weird that she was like super, because I mean, I should have said that before, because it seems like irresponsible that like my family's letting these kids play like ball on a street, but it wasn't really a street, but it's just like where you park your cars, kind of. But no one ever drives up and down it unless they're leaving or coming, which is the time that you drive on streets. So yeah, but the beach is awesome. I live in a part that's cool. It's only a few blocks on the boardwalk, which is awesome because everything's super quiet where I live, but it gets downright gnarly in Seaside. So, but it's cool to have a place that's real quiet, and then you can go to adventure out into the other part of town there where people are headbutting each other in clubs and shit, and then you see some crazy stuff, and then you walk home and it's completely quiet, no one bothers you, which I really I don't know if you guys can tell, but I don't really like people that much, so the less I have to talk to random people, the better I feel. Generally, like someone at, like if you go to the grocery store and someone's like, oh, it's a hot one out there, I hate that shit. That shit drives me up a wall. Just because there's not, the result is the same. You're still gonna get money for this asparagus, so you know you don't need to fucking talk about the weather or whatever. Yeah, so the beach is awesome. Lifeguards have been kind of a problem well, not really a problem. They're cool and everything, but in Jersey you can only surf in certain areas, so they can be kind of sticklers with you kind of dwelling over into the swimming area, which is kind of annoying, I guess. But with the lifeguards, when I was a kid, the lifeguards, we all like looked up to the lifeguards, and they used to do this thing where, because we thought they were cool, it was like myself and I don't know 5 other little kids, and they would say, let's play, I think they called it like Sandy Barrel or some shit like that. And basically what you would do is when the tide comes in, the waves get real big on the beach. That's called beach break. And the waves get real big, and when they crash, it shoots sand, because there's sand in the water that gets mixed up in the white water of the wave. So what you would do is you would lay right kind of like 2 feet before the waves hit the beach there and shoot the sand, and then you would lay there in just your bathing suit, lay down on the sand, and then just let the waves hit you for like as long as you can take it. And the lifeguard said the kid with the worst rash won, but we never won anything. Besides, I remember one time, dude, my nipples were bleeding and stuff, dude. It was really bad, but we didn't win anything except, I guess, bragging rights over our other friends, dude. But I'm just thinking about being older and doing that to I've never done that to anyone, because I think it's mean and it hurt, because if you get a rash and then you go in the ocean the next day, it burns like really bad. And my grandma used to be like, do you want the magic cream? The magic cream is just Neosporin, dude. No, I never realized that until I got older. And actually, dude, I can remember being like 18, coming back from surfing. I used to always get rashes on the inside of my legs from like sitting on the board and it rubbing against the board. And she would always, I'd be like, where's the magic cream? But I knew it was Neosporin. But sometimes you get, or she used to put this stuff on our ice cream at night when I was a little kid, where it was like the hard shell, I think, where it comes out like syrup or whatever, and then it hardens over time. She would call it magic icing or something. So there's a lot of magic going on when I was a kid, although it's all just lies. I know what it is now. But sometimes I still call it the things that she did, because I'm a cool guy, and I like my grandma. She's cool. So yeah, but you know, old people do that though, man. They trick you when you're little, you know, like with Santa and all that stuff. So I guess the magic icing, or what the fuck did she? We'll just say magic icing. I think that's what she said. So yeah, I got tricked a lot when I was little, and I remember riding my bike up and down the beach block, and my grandma being like, "You're so fast," and me thinking like, "Dude, I am fast, dude." But you know, when you're a little kid, you have no like conception or like idea of what fast really is. So when I was riding my bike, dude, and then she used to set up like these seashells, and we would go in and out of them. And I can remember being like, "This could be a career for me." When I was like 6 years old. Oh well, you know, maybe I'll bring it back. You know, have my nephew do it. We'll have him train. What time are we at here?
About an hour.
In an hour. Okay. Well, I don't know, dude. I feel like I have to do more, just because that other part there was like fucked up.
You could do whatever you want, man.
Yeah. All right. You know what?
This is your first one. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, you know. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. Okay. So in the future, I'm gonna have some guests. For sure, I'm going to try to get some guests in here. I'm going to try to get some cool guests. Obviously, Adam's, he's producing today, but eventually I'll probably make him come on here for real and talk a bunch of shit. Yeah, so we're going to try to have comedians, obviously, because I love comedians and I'm one of them. And, I'm going to try to have some music guests. Nothing's been guaranteed. Nothing's been confirmed. So, but these are just ideas for the future. So, I'm super stoked about that. I would love to talk to some of these people I have in mind about some crazy shit, because I have a lot of musician friends, and I love music. Obviously, it's something cool to pick people's brains to learn. I have one buddy who's an extremely good guitarist. I'm definitely gonna have him on here, and he can't say no because he just won't, I guess. I don't know until he does, and then I look like an asshole. But he's really good, so it's always cool to hear stories from guys like that who you find out how they learned, what they were into, their influences now as opposed to when they were younger, which for me is always interesting because I was in the AC/DC for a while. Adam, were you ever in AC/DC? So I remember in like 7th grade, we're all like, yeah, Back in Black is the shit.
Yeah, I still listen to fucking
well, I don't because they play like 3 chords.
I listen to everything.
Oh, okay.
You know me. I listen
Everything.
to fucking how many songs I have in my iTunes.
Yeah, that's true. One time we were on our way down here and we were listening to like opera music. It felt like, dude, what was that? You know
we were listening to like just instrumental music.
Yeah. Then I was like, this makes me sad.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. I listen to this when I'm sad.
Dude, I mean, it's funny. It's just, yeah. It just reminded me of like I think you said it was from a movie, but it reminded me of like a home screen and like a video game. You know, like it would just
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool music and everything.
I can't play it because we'll get pulled when we put this up.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
But yeah. Okay.
If this is just an audio podcast, I could play it.
Yeah,
but it's not.
Okay. Well, you know, okay. Well, yeah, it's good. I like the music and everything. It was just kind of a weird thing to be listening to on the way to Philly when we're all about, like, I think it was when I was here, the one podcast you did, is when we were listening to it. And I didn't know people still did that. They listened to just like, I don't know. It was funny because I think it was Evan and I were in the car. So it's like, that's something I could see you listening to by yourself. But it was.
I do. Well, I was just showing you guys what I listened to by myself. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I'm showing you what I listen to when you're not here, but now you're here.
Well,
so.
I was just showing. Yeah, how else am I supposed to show you?
Yeah. So anyway, when I was in like 9th grade or 8th grade or 7th grade or whatever, AC/DC was the shit. Then I was like, they're not that great. Then I got into like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and all that stuff. And then I moved into more alternative music. And now my range is. I mean, I like Taylor Swift. I like. I know. I like Taylor Swift. I like Elvis Costello. I really like his shit. He has this album called My Aim Is True. I think it released in like 1971. Definitely like one of the top 5 albums ever for me personally. I love that album. It's really like kind of, I don't know. You guys should listen to it. It's really good. I mean, I like it. My dad's really into it, so maybe that's why I like it. But maybe I'm biased. With that, but I like that. I mean, you know, I like this other band, Emarosa, right now. They're really good. Yeah, I also I used to like the Jonas Brothers. They had this song called Love Bug. That song was really good. And yeah, so I got like a.
Don't click the pen.
Oh yeah, I like clicking. The
yeah,
pen.
and it picks up the microphone, and then you know who hates it? Everyone listens to this. Yeah. Also, stop hitting your fucking hands on the table, because that's what Neil yells at me to do when I do it.
What, you put your hands on the table?
No, I slam it on. You've been slamming the table the whole time.
Oh.
And it's forced to have. I do it too.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just like conversation.
I know, I do it too. So I have to try not to do it.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
It's hard.
I can't like not put my hands on it.
You can put your hands on it. Just
I know, but then if I put my hands on it,
I know you want to hit it.
Smack it.
I know.
Yeah. So
real Sophie's choice.
Yeah. It's hard, dude. It's definitely hard. And now I'm just, that's all I'm doing is thinking about hitting this table, man. I really want to hit the table. So anyway, yeah. So music's huge. So yeah, I have a bunch of musical friends that are really great with music. Some of them are in bands, some of them do solo stuff. A lot of people that are, you know, not famous musicians do both, so that's cool. Yeah, then I have other regular friends, some friends that are super funny, funnier than the one kid I know. It's the funniest kid I know for sure, and funnier than me for sure. He's fucking hilarious. I'm trying to make him do it. But I think, you know, I don't know, he might have like social anxiety, which I know that I have, because I have this weird thing where if I go to meet a friend at like a restaurant or a bar or something like that, I need to know where they're sitting exactly. I cannot walk in there and walk around and look for them. I fucking hate that, and it makes me anxious, dude. I hate doing that because I just feel like everyone's looking at me like, this guy, he has no friends, he's just walking around fucking circle here looking for he's by himself obviously, but I'm looking for my friends, so I hate that shit. Definitely, for sure. That makes me insecure. So I can understand why he would be like that, because I'm kind of like that myself. Although, I mean, sometimes I don't care. It depends. Depends, I guess, dude. If I'm somewhere that I know really well, then it's fine. And this fan actually feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
Can you
sweating.
feel
No,
it?
I mean a little bit, but it's so hot.
I can feel like in my toes, man.
Yeah, it's so hot.
In between
It's
my
crazy.
toes.
This lady has to fix this fucking AC in here. It's crazy.
There's AC in here, dude.
It's supposed to be central AC, and there is none.
I'm
really,
getting, like,
I know.
sweat on my
I
forehead.
know. We
man.
gotta figure it out.
Ow, these things are hurting me.
The winter feels great.
Yeah, I bet it does, dude. In the winter, damn, yeah. And plus, we're up. You know, we're not on the bottom floor there, so like heat rises. So that always sucks. Yeah, fucking. That's why every attic is like 1,000 degrees because.
Thanks for explaining basic science to us.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with Bill Nye a lot. Yeah. Wow, you know what? Everyone probably knows that, huh?
Everyone literally knows that.
Like, hey, stop clicking your pen. We know science, guy. Damn. Okay. Well, you know what? I think that's it right now.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm Blaise Gegeckas with Jazz Cabbages.
Hold on. Let's fucking say that Jazz Cabbage is part of DropTent Podcast Network, along with Nerds with Words.
Nerds Word Studio.
And we're at Nerds with Words Studio. We're also on the DropTent Podcast Network. We're at Alt Black. We're gonna have we're dropping Slapstick Sports.
Hell yeah.
Which is gonna be Blaise, myself, and a friend of mine, Kevin Dalton.
Can't wait.
We're gonna start doing those soon. Yeah, we're growing the network, man. It's still not officially announced, so but fuck it, who gives a shit?
Yeah, well, I guess we're kind of announcing it right
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. And also, you guys should check out Nerds with Words. A great podcast. They have a lot of cool guests. Adam's obviously one of the hosts, and I love their and Neil Wood. They're great. They're great. You should check out their podcast for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, man. So again, if you want to tell everybody where you're at, social media wise.
Oh yeah, I mean, I might change it, but for now, I probably won't for now because I'm fucking lazy. So it's at Blaise Robert Gegeckas, Gegeckas. Check it out. I got Facebook and I got Instagram, and I post Instagram stories often about things that people do that piss me off. Like I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I had one where this little kid wouldn't get off the bus for like 5 minutes, and they were talking to the bus driver, and it was just me screaming at them. You know, so I do shit like that. If you're into that, dude, check it out. Fuck yeah. So thanks. Yep. Cool. Done.